Um, First one is there's physical matter, the gross physical matter that we experience in this world, and then there's mental, kind of a mental matter, and the things in the mind they can seem just as solid and real as the physical matter. What's the difference between the physical matter and the mental matter? And then is it ultimately all just different forms of consciousness? I mean, different solidity of consciousness?
Yeah, so different forms of the mind's manifested projections or the consciousness, in other words, is the real truth actually. Uh, the things that would appear as very solid, like this universe, solid matter, would appear very realistic and solid because the way that every individual is seeing is through that matter which is also a part of that dream. So that's why it appears to be truth. Like, for example, this physical body. Through this physical body, when you see, considering yourself as the physical body, that means you have become one with the dream. So that's why it appears truth. Like in the mind also, in the night times when you go to sleep and then you dream, that is also the same. The potency and dimensions are slightly different. But as long as you are dreaming, it would appear, the dream would appear as totally solid and realistic, and you also experience yourself as if you are a part playing a role in that dream. But then you are watching also. That's what the important thing, where you have to focus now. Instead of allowing the mind to get focused onto the imagined matter, if it can focus onto the one who is watching, then the truth gets revealed that it's only an illusion, means an imagined substance which does not have any existence value. That's what how I would like to put it.
Existence value means it is something that doesn't last, it's temporary.
Yes, that's one of the definitions. Another is it really doesn't exist, though it would appear as solid and perfect and everything, it really doesn't exist. Just like the dreaming is true, but the things that appear in the dream are not true.
So, spiritual life, spirituality, is it primarily about knowing the knower or the consciousness of existence?
Yeah, in a way we can put it like that.
Because it seems, a lot of people, they start out, they say they're spiritual, but they're imagining, they're maybe having astral projection experiences where they're flying around in space and going to other worlds and places. And then maybe later somebody's having experiences that uh, they are the mind space. They are the space, and all these things are appearing in their mind or in their space. And then maybe then later maybe the all the objects in this mind mental space, they vanish, and there's only just the consciousness of existence. And then now you say that beyond that is just the Par Brahman. So these are all different kind of ideas of what people think of as spiritual pursuits, but most of those are just kind of really neat experiences.
Any such experiences are simply mental projections, mind's creative imaginations. That's why we tell we have to discard every terminology. Like when you sit for meditation, when we ask you just to watch, means you have to watch so that all the matter disappears, dissolves, which are in the form of a thought or a vision, has to disappear. When that disappears, it is the space that appears. However, I would advise forget the terminologies of space, blank, dark, nothing, or something. All terminologies, anything is simply an imagination. Nothing is conclusively the truth. Just to become quiet. Just to become quiet. And what remains is the only clue is the consciousness of existence. That is the only truth which is not an imagination. The rest is all imagination. Any out of body experience, going in the space, traveling in these things, going to different lokas, everything is all simply illusions. The master teaches.
Okay, thank you, Baba. The other question is about the mirror analogy. You know how there's a mirror that reflects, it's kind of in between the relative and the absolute, and it reflects both somehow.
Yeah, the figure in the mirror reflects the illusion that has been imagined. That which it doesn't reflect is also there in the mirror. That is the truth.
That which it doesn't reflect is also in the mirror. Is that the mirror with nothing in it, then no reflection?
Yes, but that nothing is an imagination. What you are thinking as nothing is the actual reality. Truth.
So for there to be any knowing of the ultimate reality or any recognition at all of the supreme truth, does the mirror have to be there?
Not necessary. Because when the mirror is not reflecting anything, and there is nothing as you said, so even if the mirror is removed, that nothingness is there. You will see that. That is the space. So like, for example, we take the space now, though I have asked everyone not to imagine the space as space with your own criteria, but now space is all pervaded. You can remove any matter depending on the power that you possess. Like earth is there. Just now for your physical body, earth is enormously strong, impossible to touch or move the earth by hands. But if you ever grow more powerful than the earth, you might be able to take the earth like this in your hands and remove. Like that, every matter, when you become more powerful than that particular matter, you can take it out and remove. A small glass, you can take it and remove. A suitcase, you can take it and remove. But try to take the space and remove it. See, watch my hands. I am lifting the space, I am removing it, but it is there also. So actually I did not remove anything. Like that. When the mirror is also removed, the non-reflected, that truth is there. So mirror is not necessary. Mirror is needed only to see the illusion's reflection.
So for knowledge, you need the mirror.
That's it.
And so another way that you say that is that you can stop all thoughts, but you can't make yourself disappear.
Yes, exactly. That's what I keep telling. Like I tell, amongst the millions of thoughts, you have one thing, that is the consciousness of existence, which is a reality. So you can make everything else disappear. You cannot yourself disappear.
Baba, there's right action. What is right action? If everything's interconnected, and affecting every other thing. Only our ignorance, we don't see the connection. Then how could the intellect ever determine what is right if something I do is affecting the whole universe or something? Are there some general guidelines, or eventually do you, as you become more self-aware, do you become spontaneously performing right action just automatically?
Some clues, some guidance to begin with. First, try to ponder what you are looking for really. What is the root base? If you look like that, slowly one day you will realize you are looking for actually peace or happiness. When you possess a thing, you want a thing, then when you possess, then when you get that, temporarily you will feel very happy. Oh, I got this. Oh, excited. All these things give enjoyment. But then finally you analyze it was the happiness you actually wanted. For that you wanted to have this matter so that it can give you happiness. So now you think, if I am looking for the happiness, what is the highest happiness above which there must not be any other happiness? Like in this world, it's like a market product. Everybody can claim as their own things are the best, which can give you the best. Everything, every matter, everything is claimed. But you must try to go for that, after which nobody can claim anything else. That is the highest supreme peace. How can that supreme peace can come? When it is always there, all the 12 months, 24 hours, and no power, no substance of the creation should be able to disturb that peace. So that is the highest peace. When it is totally secure, you achieve that peace and it is totally secure. Nothing can disturb you, no nuclear bomb, or no country, no army, no power, no magician, no powerful person, no God, nothing can disturb that peace. Once you get that peace, that only can give you contentment. So like this is how you shall discriminate and try to go for the highest always. So why to compromise? Sometimes when we were young, we used to imagine, oh, we are flying in the air and we are building a big mansion. Then suddenly I used to think, if at all I have to imagine, why not imagine the highest? Then what is that highest? I used to keep wondering again. If at all I had to simply in the imagination, why should I be stingy just to imagine a small mountain or a small helicopter? Let there be. So then this thing occurred. It should be the contentment. Contentment is what is elusive to humanity. So I must have the contentment. If at all anybody can give me contentment, that's the magic really. So like that, these are some of the guidelines which I used to have as an young boy or in the teenager's time.
Thank you, Baba. Take some questions.
Hi, Babaji. In a moment of anger, for example, especially with family members, because they're so close to us, and they know how to push buttons and get us really worked up. And like I can't. So when I'm really angry, I can't really go to my room and sit, and because I just felt like I was steaming with anger. How would you suggest that we overcome that?
You see, if every day you sit for 1 hour meditation and just follow the instructions that was given how to meditate, right? That's important. Just watching in between our eyebrows. This will strengthen your willpower. Slowly and slowly it will strengthen. Then when, as you were talking, in that spur of the moment when the anger comes and you are unable to manage or go into a room and sit out, that much of time is not there and you might react or something might happen sometime. So all these things you will be able to handle by restraining yourself. You need to have a control over the mind. It is the mind which takes shape of such a thing when, whether it is hurt or a ego is hurt, or whether when it starts thinking whatever it wanted, if it doesn't happen, these are some of the reasons when we are likely to lose temper. If we want somebody to do something, if that somebody doesn't do something, then we might lose temper. Or if somebody accuses us unnecessarily, if our ego hurts, then we might get into such anger. So all these results in a casualty of your own mind's energy. That energy takes shape, and afterwards it may regret also sometimes if we act very rudely with somebody, very sometimes violently also, then after that we might realize. So for that, the best only remedy is the practice of meditation every day for 1 hour. And when the anger comes also, try if possible to remember some personality, like if you believe in a guru or who teaches you meditation, try to remember such personalities, try to remember their name, try to pray something. It all happens some moments actually. Within that moment we are likely to act upon and do wrong things. In the few moments, if we can divert the attention or try to control ourselves, then you will cool down. Then you will start thinking. Once you start reasoning and thinking, it will totally, mind will cool down. Anger is needed only in the battlefield when you are defending a larger cause. And sometimes, if you are an administrator, if you need to do administrative work, at such time also, if you exercise only a little bit of anger, while you are able to keep yourself under control, you don't cross the boundaries and become too violent unnecessarily. You may need to pull up somebody, you may need to scold somebody, little bit you do and then withdraw yourself. You see, like we yogis also, say we have disciples, we have students, we have somebody, sometimes I have to exercise a little bit anger, otherwise they might take me granted and sit on my head. So I have to do a little bit hissing type of thing. But I keep myself totally under control, just a little bit that needs to be pulled up. So like this you can practice and do everything.
Thank you. Babaji, I have one more question.
Okay.
In the US, I mean, maybe in other places as well, there are, the new age spiritual people that they have, like, they talk about spiritual guides and, the spirits and I don't know, like ghosts, just in general. Like, I just wonder what your thoughts are on that topic, and like, should we just avoid?
It's not actually spirituality. It has nothing to do with spirituality. They are all imagined just to create curiosity, attract people, and it will deviate the attention totally. It will deviate the path. You won't go to the truth. Such people, truth is totally different.
But, like, for example, pregnant women may sometimes have this connection or like communication with their unborn children. Would that be considered as a distraction as well? Like, where do we draw the line? Do we just say no?
All these things are distraction and one's own imaginations it creates. There cannot be any such connection, and it must be avoided. There can be very distraction and obstacles on the path of spirituality particularly. Also, it won't give any peace or any such thing. Instead, it's better to pray to divinity that is all pervaded. If needed for sake of any child or any departed soul, any such thing happens. So instead of trying to getting in touch, they are all obstacles. I would not advocate any such thing on the path of spirituality.
Okay, thank you, Babaji.
My blessings.
Pranam, Babaji. I had a question, like today when I was just meditating, I had this sensation of being struck by a strong electric sensation and the body just froze. And then there was an arising of fear. So was this again a projection of fear from the mind, or is it something that can happen during the process?
Yeah, when you are trying to meditate, Actually, mind does not want to die. Die means here, it doesn't want to give up the imagination of this world and go to the reverse journey of going back to the self. So that's why it tries to jump, it tries to create all these obstacles which can give rise to more such thoughts. So mind wants to be alive means it wants more imagination be created, more thoughts and visions be created, then it indulges in all these things. So ignoring all this, you just try to focus your mind and sight and try to remain quiet and just watch. Even any such experience, just watch. It will dissolve and disappear. You will be all right.
And the appearance of any light during meditation, that is also like a distraction, or consciousness can manifest as light.
Yeah, if you try to analyze what it is, then that becomes a distraction and an obstacle. It delays further progress, because you have to understand, we try to teach repeatedly, mind has to become silent. That is the primary priority thing that we need to achieve. Then only the mind can become pure consciousness and can turn to itself to realize about itself. That is what is needed. Blessings.
Baba, a lot of the questions were kind of asked, but I'm finding more and more that it's like, I can give you analogies, like I'm in a sinking boat, always pouring out the negative water, or I feel like there are bugs, not really bugs, but like I'm always being bitten by my past lives and negativity, and it's a real fight. I'm trying to be aware, and I say, no, you go away. I don't want any of you. And then, of course, they keep on recurring. You're really alone without negativity. So the question is, I don't know what the question is, but I guess that life is a real fight. That's all it is. It's constantly fighting.
You see, my advice is, if you indulge in a fighting, you are wasting your energy. If they are there, don't talk to them. So if you try to talk to them, no, I don't want, you get away, mean these thoughts get converted as thoughts and they become obstacles. Just ignore and keep going. Just like, I will give you one example. You are walking on the street. Somebody will try to tease you. If you also try to tease him, no, I don't want you, you go away, I'm going to hit you. You are stopping, you are wasting your energy, you are creating another obstacle. Instead of that, if you simply keep going, ignoring that person, whatever it's saying, so that person will go away. Mm-hmm. Like that in meditation also, when you close the eyes also, any such thoughts come, ignore them, continue trying to keep quiet. Continue trying to keep quiet. Continue to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I joined recently and I was attracted by this silencing the mind, as it is, my mind is quite agitated. And before knowing you, whenever I was in circumstances where I had to meditate, what was asked to do was like to be nothing, to want nothing, and to do nothing. So this is what I was used to before. And so we were just asked to dissolve, actually, not to do anything. But my mind was quite agitated, but still there was a feeling of being able to meditate a little bit. And since I'm trying to meditate as you are asking us to do, concentrating here, I feel that I cannot meditate anymore at all, because it's like a constant effort coming back. I feel I have not 1 second without a thought. It's much worse than before, actually. But still, there is still this wish to be able to silence the mind. But at the moment, I cannot concentrate, and it feels like it's a battlefield.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can help me with that.
Now please pay your attention and listen to me. First, the meditation that you were doing earlier, when they said do nothing, think nothing and nothing, that is the theory. Then the same thing that I teach from my guru's teachings is the technique that we give. These two things are different. Means, when I tell you don't think, but you would be wondering how not to think when the thoughts are coming. So then the technique is given. If you just watch, you will stop thinking eventually. This is how the technique is given, but the substance is same. You have to become silent. So that's what you have to understand. Now other points, mind has two aspects. One is it can think and it can watch. So now you have been given just to watch. While asking you to watch, we are not asking you to watch where. Just in between eyebrows, without imagining about anything. And now 3 mantras I always start is dedication, discipline and patience. Dedicated means though it is very difficult, it is not impossible. So continue, never give up. Discipline, without fail, every day at that time practice. Sit down for that duration of meditation, if possible 1 hour. Because 30-40 minutes is a big struggle, we all know. Then maybe final 5-10 minutes the mind cools down. After struggling, hitting, it also becomes tired. Oh, enough is enough time. Then it cools down. Then the thoughts come down. Then the third one is the patience. Because mind has gone out of control since time immemorial. Overnight it may not come under control. We need to have patience. If today it has not come, no problem. Tomorrow it has not come, no problem. Continue. One day it will come. It will. So that is possible. You can achieve it. Just try to understand the technique. All you have to do is watch in between eyebrows. When thoughts come, let them come. You don't have to bother about them. You don't have to do anything. If you simply watch, eventually after some time when the mind gains more strength to watch, then slowly it gives up its thinking habits. Then it won't be holding on to the thoughts and visions that is coming. Then the thoughts will start dissolving, disappearing or evaporating. This will definitely happen to you. Keep on doing this. Do not give up. We were taught in our childhood in the schools, always when you put an effort till the last breath of life, it is worthwhile to put it. So here in spirituality also, it is worthwhile to put an effort till the last breath. Even if anything happens to the body, in the next life, it will continue from childhood itself more vigorously, more strongly. So you don't have to give up hope at all. It is possible. I will pray for you. You just continue with the technique.
Thank you. Thank you, Babaji.
Yeah, thank you very much, Babaji, for your blessings and all that you do for us. So grateful. Yesterday's question and answer session intrigued me because it was brought up saying that you need 12 hours of meditation every day. And for 12 years, then you see God realization. What my question is that we're living in different times and different worlds. We have to be even working for our support and keep body and soul together. No greed, no large expectations. But then if we dedicate, as you said, dedicate what you have and what you're doing to the divine without any expectations, no results, but just do it. Would that also be a good substitute for the earlier tradition of 12 hours and 12 years?
Yes, it will definitely help you. Whatever you are doing, you just continue. It will come. Don't worry, God will help you. He will take care of your mind's purification. So if you go on like this also without expectation, you just go on doing in what you believe, then your mind accepts. When it accepts, it automatically recedes and becomes quiet and quiet. When its expectations are not met, then it gets agitated and goes into such thoughts and thoughts. So if you don't have any expectations, you accept it, then your mind will become quiet. That will get converted as a meditation.
And in fact, I found following your technique and just doing that has given such a great sense of contentment just in these few months that I've been so privileged to be on the Zoom meeting with you, Babaji. So I want to acknowledge that.
Contentment is wonderful always. When you are contented, the mind recedes. That's what is needed.
Yeah, I may have nothing, but I feel like a queen.
Wonderful. Great.
And one more question. Some people talk to mediums with people on the other side. Is that something that, not for me, but I heard somebody do that? And
they are all illusions, their own illusions. There is nothing such thing. Only you and your God, that is the truth. You are the truth which exists, and you are connected to the divinity that exists. The rest are all mental projections, mind's imagination, which will deviate and take you away from the truth and peace and contentment.
No, but medium to communicate with people who are on the other side, the departed ones.
Yes, I understand.
From people who died.
I understand. It doesn't really happen. It is not a true thing. Even if the whole world believes, it is not at all true. It is their own illusion, their own imagination, and they try to fool themselves and they try to fool others. That is all.
Okay. Thank you.
What is the source of thought?
Consciousness. Because consciousness has energy in it, then consciousness is also able to be creative. This, in a smaller way, I told, mind has the ability to imagine. And don't consider this ability to imagine as an ordinary thing. It's a great power that it is able to create. The same imagination, we try to call it in a higher sense as creativity. Depending on this creativity, only the whole world, universe is running. Everybody trying to be creative, innovative, and want to do something, and they want to do. So, to be creative itself is not a problem. But if you lose control over that creativeness and you are unable to stop it when it is needed to be stopped, that's when the problem arises. So, the source is consciousness. You are the source of your thoughts. Final definition.
Is there a causal connection with thought? What makes it arise from consciousness?
Just like that, it arises. Spontaneously. Like some clue example I have given. Suppose you had a very sound sleep in the night, good, and in the morning you are very refreshing mentally, at peace. You might be sipping a cup of coffee or something like that. Suddenly, unknown to you, the mind starts imagining. In the beginning, it tries to imagine all the pleasant things. Nobody wants unpleasantness. But slowly, if it is left to go like that one, as the day passes by, it starts imagining happiness, unhappiness, good and bad. Like that, it gets involved into dualities. So, in the beginning, spontaneously, it simply came because of the presence of the energy that is in it. So, to avoid this, all the time you have to practice that you are in yourself. Yes, purifying the acquired habits of the mind.
So we can do that in meditation, but should we also practice that in our daily life? Just not thinking of ourselves as being the person or the body and the mind?
That also, apart from that, when you are active in the world, so you just go on accepting as the results come. Means you want to do something and then whatever happens, they both are combined, keep happening in the life. You go on doing and the things happening. You go on doing and things happening. Do you understand this point? So when the things happening, keep quiet, let it happen. You go on doing, a thing happen, then you accept it. That means keep quiet. So that's it.
Yeah, so the key, that acceptance, you recommend that often. And basically that means you don't have to deal with it. There's no need to analyze or judge it, just drop it.
Just drop it.
Okay.
Baba, thank you again so much for being with us. It's a special treat, a wonderful thing in our practice. About 15 months ago, my wife passed away, and it was a very difficult experience for me. And your advice to me was to send her my love and help her mind to become quiet. So for over a year now, when I think about her, I try to do just that. Send her my love and help her mind to become quiet. But I still am struggling so much with the emotions of sadness and grief and loss. It's such a painful experience. So my question to you is, all those years that we spent together, living together and loving each other, is that also part of the mind's imagination? Is understanding that, would that help me some?
Yeah, you see, always past is only in the memory. Future also in the mind's imagination. The present is peaceful all the time. So presently, you have to see that the mind is in the present, then you will have the peace. If at all you want to remember the past, all those years you were together, try to remember all the pleasant moments, all the friendly moments that you both had. You don't have to feel sad. You will feel that she is still with you. That is in the present. Then you will have peace. So it is, you have to think like this. Simply by becoming sad, you cannot make the past to come back into the present. Under no circumstances it will come back. Instead, you pray for the departed soul. Let it go on its journey towards the divinity. I must not recollect or try to draw her back for my personal selfishness. So like that you start thinking, then slowly your mind will feel a little bit shame. Oh, I am very selfish, I must not do like this, I must not be sad. She wouldn't like me to be sad, she would like me to be happy. If you are happy, she is happy. If you are happy, that's what she wants. Like that you think, see the reason, then you will be able to overcome the sadness and you won't allow your mind to become a casualty unnecessarily.
Thank you, Baba. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Hello, Babaji. And thank you for your love and your words of peace. And I wonder, is there any, am I furthering my tendency to have illusions by using my mind to think of world peace and to wish well for others and all of that? Is there any good to that, or is it just making me feel comfortable with creating illusions?
You see, if at all you feel like thinking like that, convert it into a prayer to the divine. May there be peace for all beings in all the worlds. May they have happiness. May they have sense of wisdom and proper inspiration. May the humanity learn to live for each other instead of being against each other. Please bless all the humanity, my Lord, so that the humanity may trust each other. That's what is missing today, isn't it? So you convert it, then it will be a positive thought and it won't be troublesome for you. Then slowly practice meditation also side by side. It will be all right.
That's a wonderful solution. And I also wonder, visualizing peace and visualizing all positive things, is that anything wrong with that?
Yeah, nothing until you are able to achieve total silence in the mind. You can visualize. There's no harm in it. Just visualize all human beings are happy. They are loving each other. They are living only for each other. So all conflicts have come to an end. There is no weapon system that exists in the world. There is no need for any weapon at all. Everybody is safe and secure. Everybody is happy and contented. God has given everything to everybody.
All right. Agreed.
Hello, Babaji. Thank you again for being with us. My question is, we talk a lot about imagination, and I know that when I worry about something, but a quote that I heard comes up where it says, I forget who said it, but worry is a misuse of imagination. And I understand that that takes me out of the present moment where I'm worrying about something from the past or something that might happen in the future. But as a creative person, as a musician, I'm wondering what your thoughts are on the good, positive parts of imagination, or if there is maybe tying in a little bit to what Vida just asked, like how can we manifest something from our imagination that's helpful or beautiful or that brings peace?
Yeah, so if you can be more practical in your imagination, practical means just see now and tomorrow, now and the future, what is possible for you. So you try to do that one. If anything made you to hurt or feel hurt or made you to worry about the past, let's forget about it because it's not going to come back. But the future will come back to the present. So if you work in the present, you can make a better future for yourself. If you are a musician, try to practice more music or try to compose some good music, which can be very helpful. Whatever is possible for you practically, you try to do that one, then you can overcome the worries. You will feel more happy, contented, and proud about you.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Hi, Babaji. After we die, where do we go? I mean, do we just disappear or like?
Now, you see, just now, you exist as the mind. That is also known as the soul, infinite form. And this body is there. Mind is in touch with the reflections of the brain. So it is acquiring habits, imprints, thought processes that are happening. So when death happens, the brain dies, it stops functioning. Then the mind is forced to get detached from the brain's reflections. Now, mind is holding imprints. If it is holding imprints, thoughts which form as attitude, intensity of thoughts, based on that, it assumes next incarnation, next birth. Just like in this birth, you are born like this. In the same way, it will be born again based on its own attitude and intensity of thought. It will get to see another such world. The mind spins and assumes another body, another birth, another world, another things come along. So whatever you have practiced in this life will come to your rescue and help to shape your personality, to shape your attitude and observation capacity and the things that you come across. Like for example, to come across a self-realized yogi. In the previous life, something good you would have tried to do definitely. That's why you have been blessed to come towards the truth of spirituality. Like that, it will continue until you don't achieve total silence of the mind. The meditation is start so that you achieve total silence of the thoughts. When the mind becomes total silent, it is pure consciousness. At that time when death happens, the brain dies, the consciousness gets detached from the brain and merges with the ultimate truth that is all pervaded. We also call it as divinity, God. You merge with that one and you exist in supreme peace. You will not disappear. You are the eternal entity. That's what we try to teach always. You are much beyond the birth and death of the physical body. You are an eternal entity. You always is there. And that is your existence right to have supreme peace. As long as you don't get involved in physical bodies of any type, you will remain in that divinity in supreme peace.
Thank you, Papaji.
So Baba, it's just the imagined self, imagining yourself as a person that causes you to
reborn, rebirth, reincarnation.
And so you've mentioned that attitude and intensity is what carries forward into the next birth. And you've said specifically that memories do not, of our life, those die with the brain. And so, but yet these attitudes and the intensities of our attitudes go forward. What exactly do you mean by that? What are the attitudes? What would be examples of attitudes?
See, I have spoken this as a basic nature that forms when a person is born in a physical body. So such a person's observation capacity, thinking capacity, understanding capacity all differs from child to child. Like when parents have different children, they will try to look after all children equally, but different children pick up different temperaments, understanding. Based on that, their personality gets shaped and they go towards that path slowly. See, for example, after being born in this world, you are in the world also, but slowly to turn towards the spirituality, spiritual truths. This is what the attitude you have been bringing from your previous lives. If you are doing some sort of sadhana to quieten the mind, or to understand the reality, that you are bringing. So that is what is carried forward. But you don't remember where you were born in the previous life exactly, where is that location? Impossible. That is not truth. If anybody claims or tells that I can tell you you were this in your previous life, they are all false and myths only. Only this attitude is carried forward. The rest is forgotten due to the death of the brain. That memory, what was you in your previous life? Were you a human being or an animal or man or woman or what it was? All you have forgotten. But you are carrying on the characteristics, that which has formed your actual personality. That's what I try to tell.
Does that mean that the conclusions that we take away from life experiences, how people, our basic attitude will be how we conclude?
Yeah, that's what the judgments, I keep telling, the mind recognizes, analyzes and makes a judgment and absorbs that imprint as a habit. That's what becomes the acquired habits of the mind.
And so based on our attitude,
this word also is good. It concludes, this is it. So that sits in the mind. It concludes, this is mango, and that sits in the mind.
So our basic attitude determines our judgments and our samskars that guide us through life.
Yeah. So that will determine your journey, whether you are going back to divinity or you are getting sucked back into the world too much, what you are going to do. It all depends on you, your attitude. That's why the company of the noble, good and sadhana of meditation to quieten the mind is all recommended, and that's so important. An opportunity is given when you are a human being. If you can quieten your mind, you go to divinity. Forget about ghosts and pasts and pastas and this and that, everything.